a video for Patriots, people that love the United States. How many times have you think about things that are very, very American? Imagine that the brand new country, somewhere about the 1980s, did not have their own dog, their own ID, because the type of dog you have, the type of man you are. How many times you seen that guy walking with a dog? He looks very strong, maybe a CrossFitter, or maybe someone that lift weights, and walking around with a poodle or a Shih Tzu or a Yorkie or a Shepherd, and you say that guy is too strong for the dog. They don't match. There's no mirror match. The American Pitbull Terrier was created by the founders of the United States of America based on strength, love for children, love for family, and dogs that will never give up. The whole concept of the underdog and the dog that's going to go until the end and the top dog that's going to fight to stay on top, it comes from Americans. It comes from American dogs. And those dogs used to be called pit dogs until the late 1800s, where Americans found themselves in a position. They were a brand new nation and they didn't have a dog. They said, we don't want a German dog to represent us. We don't want a Russian dog to represent us. We want to have our own dog. And they look back and it says, that dog they gave the founders, the entrepreneurs and the builders of the United States, that courage, the concept of the underdog and the top dog and never give up, that is our dog. They used to call them pit dogs, and they say, well, we're going to call them over anything American. We're American Pitbull Terriers. Somewhere around the 1930s, the dogs started to go through a deformation process due to poor breedings and the breed becoming very popular. Everybody wanted to have a dog, and everybody started breeding it. The process of breeding dogs and everybody breeding dogs deforms all breeds on the planet. So what happens is the American Pitbull Terrier was not an exception. People started creating their own dogs. They wanted with a bigger head, with a bigger chest, smaller legs, and they deformed the dogs all the way to the point of the bully. And so the dog that you know as a pit bull is not a real pit bull. That is actually not a real pit bull. That dog has gone through a long process of deformation. Yet there is a real American Pitbull Terrier, and there's very few of them, just a handful of them left. I had them for 30 years. They called the Golden Vein, and before I got them, they were developed for another 30 years. So it's about 60 years of perfection, and the dogs are connected to the dogs of the 1800s, the dogs of the founders, and the dogs of the entrepreneurs of the country. These dogs have been in the hands of the greats like John Sullivan, have been in the hands of Terrence Buck Crawford today, and Saul Canelo Alvarez, and many other people that are love boxing and contact sports. Now, think about this. These dogs are very few, and they're going to disappear. If you really want to support the breed and you need to buy a dog, whether it's a Shih Tzu or you want to buy a Frenchie or you want to buy a Shepherd or a Labrador, think about giving us a chance to preserve the breed. We need ambassadors that are willing to showcase the greatness of the dogs. We don't work with everybody, so we work with people that we can approve in our community, which is small, and we want to preserve these dogs for the future generations, for your grandchildren, for your great-grandchildren. So if you're interested in being part of this ambassadors program, you can call me and we can save the pit bulls. Pit bulls are the greatest dogs ever created. Their real name is called American Pitbull Terriers. These are the global elite level American Pitbull Terriers. My name is Chico López, and I have given my life to doing this particular task, taking the American Pitbull Terriers over to the next generations. God bless you. SaveThePitbulls.com.